A soft wind sweeps across the golden fields of Heartland. Horses run free, their manes dancing in the morning light. A voice begins to speak, steady, emotional, and full of warmth. Every sunrise at Heartland carries a story of love, of loss, of family holding on through every storm. But this time, in Season 19, Episode 3, something feels different. The ranch is quiet. Too quiet. And behind every smile, there's a secret waiting to surface. The scene fades to a wide shot of the ranch. The soft strum of a guitar fills the air. This isn't just another episode, it's a turning point, where old wounds meet new beginnings, and where every heartbeat echoes through the heart of the prairie. Heartland has never been just a show. It's a world built on the warmth of family and the whisper of open fields. For nearly 2 decades, it has followed the lives of the Bartlett-Fleming family. A group of people tied not just by blood, but by the land they love. The ranch is more than a home. It's a memory in motion. A place where every horse tells a story and every sunset holds a lesson. In Season 19, Episode 3, we return to that world once again, the fences weathered by time, the barn glowing in the afternoon light, and the feeling that no matter how far life takes us, Heartland will always call us back. The episode opens with a quiet morning. Amy Fleming, now older, wiser, yet still carrying that gentle strength, walks through the barn. Dust floats through the air as she runs her hand along the stall doors, remembering every horse that's passed through her care. There's peace here, but there's also change, Lou. Her sister stands by the old truck, staring out across the fields. Her political career has pulled her away from home, yet every time she returns, she feels the weight of what's been left behind. Their father, Tim, is out near the training pen. His body strong, but his eyes distant, haunted by mistakes he's not yet ready to face. And then there's Jack, the anchor of it all. Moving slower now, but still holding the family together with his quiet wisdom and deep love for the land. This episode carries the feeling of a home in transition, where every character is caught between what was and what could be. Heartland's legacy lies not in the drama of big moments, but in the soft, human truths hidden in small gestures, a comforting pat on a horse's neck, a shared meal after a long day, a single tear that falls when no one's watching. The beauty of Heartland has always been its honesty. It doesn't rush to the climax. It lets life breathe. The silence between conversations, the stillness before a storm, those are the things that make this show real. Episode 3 captures that perfectly. It doesn't just show us where the characters are. It reminds us of how far they've come. And as the first act unfolds, you can feel it. Something big is coming. Not loud or sudden, but quiet, emotional, and inevitable. A change that will test what it means to hold on and what it means to let go. The day begins softly, but in Heartland.com, skies can hide heavy clouds. The ranch seems peaceful, the horses grazing, the wind carrying the scent of pine and dust, yet something in the air feels uncertain. It's that kind of stillness that comes before life decides to shift. Amy senses it first. She stands near the corral, watching Spartan's colt circle the fence. The horse refuses to settle, restless and wild, almost mirroring Amy's own unease. She knows the signs. When an animal carries a burden, it often reflects the heart of its keeper. Amy hasn't been herself lately. There's a distance in her eyes, a thought she can't shake. The past few months have brought change, and change has never come easy for her. Lou returns from the city with her phone buzzing, her hands full of papers, her heart full of questions. The small-town life that once comforted her now feels too quiet. She's caught between two worlds, the rush of her political life and the simplicity of Heartland. Yet, when she sees her daughter running across the field, the truth hits her, no matter how high she climbs. This ranch will always pull her back down to earth. Tim, on the other hand, hides behind his work. He moves from barn to barn, avoiding conversations he doesn't want to have. There's a letter in his jacket pocket, one he's been avoiding since yesterday. It's from an old friend, a reminder of a promise he broke years ago. As the sunlight hits his face, he pauses, knowing that running from the past has never worked here. Heartland has a way of making you face what you fear most. Meanwhile, Jack watches them all from the porch. His old coffee cup warms his hands, and his eyes track every detail, the way Amy avoids Lou's gaze, the way Tim's steps falter, the way the air feels heavy with unsaid words. He's seen this before. Families don't fall apart in loud fights. They drift away in silence. And Jack, with all his years, knows that silence can be dangerous. The ranch itself becomes a silent character in this episode. Alive, breathing and listening. The fences creak like they're whispering secrets. The barn doors sway in the breeze as if reminding everyone that no storm lasts forever. But every storm leaves something behind. As the sun dips low, the sky glows orange and gold. The family gathers for dinner, their voices soft, their smiles thin. A feeling lingers, something's about to happen. It's not a scream or a crash. It's something quieter. A truth that's been waiting too long to be spoken. Heartland has always been about facing life, not escaping it. And in this quiet hour, before the storm breaks, every character stands on the edge of a change they can't yet see, but one that's already begun. Night falls softly over Heartland, but peace doesn't always follow the dark. The sky glows a deep violet, the last trace of sun fading beyond the hills. Inside the house, the lamps cast a golden light, warm and calm. But beneath that calm, hearts are restless. This is where the story shifts. Amy can't sleep. She sits by the window, her reflection faint against the glass, staring into the open fields. The quiet usually comforts her, but tonight it feels heavy, like the land itself is holding its breath. She reaches for an old photo of Ty, her late husband. His smile in that picture is still strong, still kind. "You'd know what to do," she whispers. But even she knows some answers never come easy. Meanwhile, Lou walks down the hall, stopping by the kitchen where Jack is cleaning up. The air between them feels thick, like there's something unsaid hovering in the silence. She finally speaks, her voice low but steady. "Dad, I got the offer." Jack looks up, eyes narrowing. She doesn't need to say more. The offer, the one that would take her far from Hudson, far from Heartland. A bigger role, a bigger life. But at what cost? Jack takes a deep breath, choosing his words carefully. "You've always had big dreams, Lou. Just don't forget where they started." Outside, Tim is near the barn, holding that letter again, the one from the past. He unfolds it slowly, reading the words that sting like fresh wounds. It's from a woman named Marion, not Amy's mother, but an old friend from the rodeo days. The letter reveals something he never told the family, a deal gone wrong, a betrayal that cost someone dearly. It's a truth he's buried for years. Now it's clawing its way back. As he stands there, guilt washing over him, Amy walks into the barn. Their eyes meet. She can tell something's wrong, a look she's seen before, one that never hides well. "Dad, what's going on?" she asks quietly. Tim hesitates, torn between silence and confession. The moment stretches long and fragile. Finally, he says, "There are things I should have told you." Long ago, that's when the storm breaks. The episode doesn't explode with action. It unfolds like a wound reopening. Truths come out, not to destroy, but to heal what's been broken. Jack overhears from the doorway. Lou returns mid-conversation, and for a moment, the family is frozen, caught in the space between past mistakes and present forgiveness. The ranch feels alive again, but differently. The horses shift in their stalls, thunder rumbles in the distance, and rain begins to fall, soft, steady, cleansing. It's the kind of moment Heartland is known for, where pain and love collide, and something beautiful begins to grow from it. Because at Heartland, every secret that rises to the surface doesn't end a chapter, it begins a new one. The storm has passed, but the silence it leaves behind is louder than thunder. Morning light seeps through the clouds, soft and silver, casting long shadows across the ranch. Heartland looks peaceful again, yet inside the house, hearts are still learning how to beat in rhythm after the truth unraveled the night before. Amy stands in the paddock, watching the rainwater drip from the fence rails. Her thoughts are tangled. The revelation from her father lingers in her chest like an old scar reopened. She isn't angry, not completely. It's something deeper, something quieter. The pain of realizing that the people we love most are sometimes the ones who hurt us without meaning to. But Amy's strength has never come from rage. It's come from her ability to understand, to forgive, to heal through love, not in spite of it. Lou, meanwhile, packs her suitcase upstairs, her mind a storm of its own. The offer she received still sits on the table, a life-changing position that could take her far from everything she knows. But now, the family feels more fragile than ever. She walks past the window and sees Amy brushing Spartan. The sight pulls at her heart. She remembers when they were kids, when everything was simple, before politics, before grief, before choices that split life into before and after. Lou closes the suitcase halfway, her hands trembling. Some decisions, she realizes, can't be made on paper, they have to be made in the heart. In the barn, Tim works quietly, fixing a broken saddle strap. He's not trying to escape this time. He's trying to make peace with what he's done. The letter sits beside him, now folded neatly. No longer a weapon of guilt, but a reminder of growth. Amy walks in, her boots soft against the hay. She doesn't speak at first, just watches him. The air between them feels heavy but gentle, like a wound that's finally starting to heal. Then she says, softly, "You don't have to be perfect, Dad. You just have to be honest." A moment he doesn't look up. Then, slowly he nods. No speeches, no tears, just understanding. In Heartland, healing doesn't always come with grand gestures. Sometimes it's found in small silences, in shared work, in forgiveness that grows quietly. Like wildflowers after rain, Jack, as always, is the quiet observer. He watches his family from the porch, pride and pain mixing in his eyes. He knows what it takes to keep a family together. Patience, forgiveness, and faith in love, even when it feels impossible. He sips his coffee, looks at the land, and smiles faintly. The storm might have shaken the roots, but it hasn't broken them. By the end of the day, laughter returns. Not loud, not perfect, but real. Lou joins Amy and Jack at the table. Tim walks in last, unsure if he belongs, until Amy nods for him to sit. The moment is simple, but powerful. The clinking of dishes, the warmth of the fire, the feeling that maybe, just maybe, they found their way back to each other. Heartland has always taught that love isn't about forgetting the past. It's about facing it together. And as the sun sets over the fields, painting the sky in gold and crimson, you can feel it, the healing has begun. Evening settles over Heartland like a memory quiet, golden and full of reflection. The air smells of fresh rain and hay, the kind of scent that only exists in places where life still moves slow. The ranch is calm again, but something inside it has changed. The walls, the fences, the open skies, they've all witnessed another chapter in the family story. What remains now are the lessons left behind. Amy sits on the porch steps, brushing the dust off her boots. Spartan grazes nearby, peaceful and steady, the living symbol of her strength. She thinks about the past few days, about truth, forgiveness, and how healing never truly ends. Her voice in the narration is soft but full of meaning. Every scar tells a story. Every hurt leaves something behind. But maybe that's how we grow, by learning to see beauty in what tried to break us. Lou joins her, holding 2 mugs of hot chocolate, just like they used to as teenagers. Their conversation isn't about the past or the pain anymore, it's about the future. Lou confesses she turned down the offer, not because she's afraid of change, but because she's realized something bigger. Her success doesn't have to come from leaving home. It can come from strengthening it. She wants to use her voice to help people here in Hudson, where her roots run deep. Amy smiles, proud but not surprised. Heartland has a way of reminding people where they truly belong. Tim, meanwhile, finds himself at the old rodeo arena, the place where his mistakes once began. He steps into the ring, hearing echoes of applause from years long gone. For the first time in decades, he feels peace instead of regret. The letter in his pocket is no longer a weight. It's a reminder of redemption. He plans to rebuild old friendships, not for pride, but for closure. Heartland's spirit lives in second chances. Tim is finally ready to take his Jack. Ever the foundation of the family, looks out across the horizon. His voice, weathered but full of grace, narrates softly. This land doesn't just raise horses. It raises people. Teaches them how to fall, how to get back up, and how to keep moving no matter the storm. He's seen generations grow under this sky, and though the years have taken much, they've also given him something unshakable: faith in the goodness that endures. Later that night, the family gathers again by the fire pit. The flames dance against their faces, their laughter gentle and real. Amy plays with her daughter's hair. Lou leans back against the chair with a quiet smile. And Tim tells a story that finally earns laughter instead of tension. For a few fleeting moments, everything feels whole again. The legacy of Heartland isn't written in fame or fortune, it's written in forgiveness, in love that lasts through time, in the strength to start again when everything seems lost. It's about remembering that family isn't perfect, but it's worth every fight, every tear, every moment of holding on. As the stars spread across the wide Alberta sky, Amy's voice returns one last time. We can't control what life gives us, but we can choose how we face it, with open hearts, steady hands, and faith that tomorrow always holds another sunrise. Heartland's story isn't over. It never is. Because as long as the wind moves through those fields and the horses run free across the valley, the legacy of love and the lessons it carries will live on. There's a special silence that comes after a story touches your soul, the kind that makes you sit still for a moment, just breathing it in. That's what Heartland does. It doesn't scream for your attention. It earns it through honesty. Every frame, every tear, every quiet smile feels like a mirror showing us the parts of ourselves we often keep hidden. Watching Heartland, Season 19. Episode 3 isn't just watching a show. It feels like coming home to a place you've never been, but somehow remember. Maybe it's because we've all known what it's like to lose something, to fight for family, to rebuild ourselves when life knocks us down. The characters aren't superheroes. They're us, in different faces, in different stories. Amy's strength, Lou's ambition, Tim's guilt, Jack's wisdom, they're all pieces of the human heart. What makes this episode powerful isn't its drama, but its truth. It reminds us that love isn't always easy, that forgiveness takes courage, and that healing doesn't come all at once. The writers don't rush to make the family perfect. They let them stumble, fall, and rise again, just like we do. That's why Heartland isn't just watched, it's felt for longtime fans. This episode feels like a conversation with old friends. The familiar creak of the barn doors, the way Spartan neighs when Amy approaches. The soft laugh of Jack by the fireplace, these are moments that feel lived in, like memories we share with them. For new viewers, it's a gentle invitation, a reminder that even in a fast-changing world, there are still stories built on love, loyalty. In Land, the faceless narrator's tone softens, almost whispering maybe that's why Heartland endures. Because it doesn't just tell us who these people are, it reminds us who we can be. The scene shifts, shots of the ranch glowing under moonlight. The horses standing close together as the wind brushes through the fields. There's peace now, the kind that comes after facing the truth. You can feel it even through the screen, the warmth, the stillness, the quiet promise that tomorrow brings another chance. Heartland's magic lies not in its surprises, but in its familiarity, in the feeling that life, even with all its heartbreaks, can still be beautiful. And as the narrator's voice fades, the words linger. In every family, there's a story that never ends. This is Heartlands. The music swells, soft piano, and the whisper of wind. The visuals fade to the ranch at sunrise, golden and alive. Because Heartland isn't just a show about them, it's a reminder about us. About love that stays, even when everything else changes. About hope that refuses to fade. About finding home, not in a place, but in the people who never stop believing in you. The dawn returns to Heartland, is painting the valley in shades of gold and quiet blue. The storm, the tears, the unspoken words, all of it now feels like a memory slowly dissolving into the morning light. The land breathes again. The fences glisten with dew. The horses move calmly, their hooves pressing softly into the wet earth. Everything feels new, even if nothing has truly changed. That's the beauty of it. Life doesn't always need to start over. Sometimes it just needs to keep going. Amy walks out into the field, her coat brushing against the tall grass. She looks toward the rising sun, the warmth touching her face. She closes her eyes, and in that stillness, she lets go of guilt, of fear, of the past that's held her too long. The narrator's voice rises gently, carrying the weight of her thoughts. Healing doesn't happen in one moment. It's found in 100 small choices to stay, to forgive, to love again even when it hurts. Lou steps out onto the porch, a mug of coffee in hand, watching her sister from afar. She smiles, realizing that sometimes the biggest victories aren't about chasing more, they're about coming back to what matters. She made her choice. Heartland is home, and she's not leaving again. Not because she failed to dream bigger, because she finally understood that this, the ranch, the people, the memories, is the dream. Inside, Jack sits by the fire, holding a worn photo of Marion. His fingers trace the edges as his eyes soften. He whispers, "You'd be proud of them." His voice is low, filled with love and nostalgia. The photo trembles slightly in his hand, not from weakness, but from gratitude. He's seen generations grow and stumble and rise again. And now, as another chapter unfolds, he knows the ranch will outlive them all, because its true strength isn't in the land, but in the love it carries.